Hey buddies, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do second problem in Babbar DSA sheet. We have started with arrays, right? Yesterday we completed to find the duplicate number program. So today we are going to work on the second problem in the arrays. So it is merge intervals. So we are going to learn the second problem in Babbar DSA sheet. So coming to the problem statement, here they given an array containing intervals of start and end. For example, we can go for an array containing two elements, like it's an array. For example, we can go that 1 comma 3 is an array, and 2 comma 6 is also an array, 8 comma 10 also an array, and 15 comma 18 is also an array. So these are the subarrays of the main array interval. So here the question is, he asking us to merge the intervals which are overlapping. For example, here 1 and 3 is in a subarray in the interval array, and the same time 2 and 6 also in a subarray in the main array interval. So here the problem statement is asking us to club the two subarrays where there are overlapping, right? So finally we have to return a non-overlapping array containing the intervals. So this is our problem statement. So hope you understand. So let's we go to the solution. So here they given an main array containing subarrays which subarray contains two elements depicting the start and end of an interval. So we want to return a non-overlapping array. So nothing, there is no much to stress on the constraints. I already explained it. So the main point is how to find the logic here. The very first step we have to think about this thing is we have to sort the array using the first element of the subarray, nothing but starting index of the subarray. For example, here the 1 comma 3 is in subarray of interval, right? So in the same way 2 comma 6 is also in subarray in the main array intervals. So we have to sort the subarrays using the start element. For example, in the example 1, already this array is sorted with respect to the start element. Just see, 1 is less than 2, 2 is less than 8, 8 is less than 15. Coming to the second example, the scenario is same, 1 is less than 4. But coming to the example 3, it is different, like 4 is greater than 1. Here we have to sort in such a way 1 comma 4 will come to the first and 4 comma 7 go to the second. But what would be the reason why we should be sort it? What would be the reason? Because nothing but we have to club them. We need the subarrays to be in consecutive. Why? Because if coming to the example 1, if 1 comma 3 is there and 2 comma 6 is somewhere at last, how I want to search for the interval, the overlapping interval for the whole the array from first index to last index. In the case where we sort the array with respect to the start element, then the subarrays will be in consecutive places. For example, you can see here 1 comma 3 and 2 comma 6 are consecutive, like means the subarrays are placed next to each other. So when we are going through the loop, we can search it and we can match their intervals. Okay, let's we go to the problem solution. So here the first step is I am sorting the array interval, these array intervals using the sort method in the array. So here the very important thing in the code which I written, because this is a very important step. If you able to think this step and able to write this line in your code, half of your code is done. Yes, mark my word, you are going to use this sort method in many problems, not in here itself. In many problems you should aware of comparator method in util package. Why I used this? Please go to the comparator method and please check how it is working. In further days, I will be explaining the core concepts of Java once I completed my Love Babbar sheet. Here, arrays.sort is a method we're using an comparator method which would take an array and that will sort according to the our customized requirement. Here I am asking that comparator method, like it's an actually comparator is not a method, it's an interface. It contains a method compare. It will compare the start index of an subarray 1 comma 3 and start index of in subarray 2 comma 6, and it will return true, false, or it will return 0, nothing but it will actually, to be frank, it will return 1, 0 and -1. If it is true, means a of 0 is less than b of 0, then it will return -1. If a of 0 is greater than b of 0, it will return +1. If a of 0 is equal to b of 0, it returns 0. So this step is nothing but to sort the subarrays according to the starting index. Hope you understood this point, because this is a very important step in the entire code, because we have to sort the subarrays, then only we can club the subarrays which having overlapping intervals. Hope you understood this line. Then after I am taking in a linked list. Okay, you can got a doubt why you took the linked list instead of array, because since our return type here is an array type, but I took list to return. So what could be the reason? Because we don't know how many final subarrays will be found, because we are clubbing the subarrays, right? After clubbing subarrays, we are not sure how many subarrays will be there. So instead of taking a static array, I am taking dynamic list, and I can convert this list into array at end of the solution. So next step is I am taking the first subarray as a current. Remember, this current will stores the value of the subarray after the sorting. Probably it contains the least interval, nothing but not the size of the interval. I'm saying the element having the start element with less value. For example, here it would store the 1 comma 3 subarray in the current value. So I am starting the for loop from the index 1, not the 0, because since I took the interval 0, index 0 in the current, so I am starting the loop 1 to check the whether the two subarrays are overlapping or not. So I am taking the next with nothing but the first interval in the next array. So I am checking next of 0 is less than equal to current of 1, nothing but here the next subarray is 2 comma 6, the current subarray is 1 comma 3. I'm checking next of 0. Next is this subarray, right? 2 comma 6. Next of 0 means 2, right? Is less than equal to current of 1. Current is 1 comma 3. Current of 1 is 3. So I'm checking 2 is less than equal to 3. Hope it sense. Hope it makes sense, right? 2 is less than 3. So the if statement is become true. So I am updating the current, means I am keeping the value in the current 1 comma 3 in current of 1. I am updating the current of, instead of 3 I am keeping the value the maximum of current of 1 and next of 1, means I am out of 3 and 6 which one is the maximum value. I am keeping that value in the current value. So here the 3 in the current value, instead of 1 comma 3 replacing 1 comma 6, the current will become 1 comma 6. I am not storing it is in the list head. When I will store in the list means if there is no other subarray overlapping this area 1 comma 6 area. For example, there could be another, for example, if there is no subarray here like 4 comma 6, if there is a subarray like 4 comma 6, then I can overlap that in the next iteration, next for loop. Since it has only two subarrays of overlapping here, I am again for the next iteration I is equal to the next will be 8 comma 10, right? Hope it makes sense. Then it will again checks next of 0. Next of 0 means 8, right? Current is indicating 1 comma 6. I understood. Hope you all understood the current values. I'm just writing here to make you understood. 1 comma 6 is the current iteration value of the current subarray. Okay, so now the I becomes 2, right, is the second iteration. So next will store 8 comma 10, 8 comma 10. So it's checking that 8 is less than equal to 6. Is it true? Is the truth if statement becomes true or false? It false, right? Then obviously the else it will goes to the else statement. So it is going to add the value uh, in the else statement. It's going to add in the list, that array list which we created in the earlier stage. So the step is completed for now. Okay, the current is here 1 comma 6 is going to the list. So the next step we are assigning the current value is 8 comma 10, 8 comma 10. Hope you understood what we are doing. Means when we are sure about there are no more subarrays which are in that particular interval, we are adding that into the link array list we created earlier, and we are assigning the next to the current value. 8 comma 10 is the our current value of the next. But when we are sure that there is no other subarray that we can include in the current interval, we are adding the current array into the list, and we are assigning the next to the current. Hope you understood. So the next iteration again, the interval length is still there, right? The current value of I is only 2. So again now the loop is, the second iteration is completed. Now I'm going increment, I will become 3, I is equal to 3, right? So now I is equal to 3, the next value will hold different, right? 8 instead of 8 comma 10. First I will change the current will be 8 comma 10, 8 comma 10, and next will become 15 comma 18, 15 comma 18. So here next of 0, next means 15, 15 is less than equal to 10. Why 10? Current of 1, 10, right? So it is again false, again false. So what we are doing, so again false means it will go to the else loop, and here the current value will store in the array list. 8 comma 10 will be stored. So the current value will be updated with next. What is the next value? Current next value here. So it is 15 comma 18. So okay, done. There is the current currently the current subarray will hold 15 comma 18. Just now it's updated. So the current subarray will store 15 comma 18, and since the for loop also going to end because I value is 3 interval, so it will become 4 now after the increment. The 4 is less than interval dot length is 4, 1 2 3 4, 4 is less than 4, false, so it will become out of the loop. Then the current value stores 15 comma 8. We have to add these thing also in the array list. Since I added in one more statement in the solution to add the last value of the current subarray in the out of the for loop. Here again the 15 comma 8, 15 comma 18 will be stored in the array list. So finally we added the all the subarrays containing non-overlapping intervals. There is no overlapping between the subarrays in the array list that we created. So the final step is we have to convert this array list into the array. Means array list is a dynamic thing, array is a static thing. Hope you know this thing, and this is a very important thing to return our solution, since the return type of this method is array. So This is a method. Hope you will search about this method how it will works. And A is the list. In the list array list, there is a method to convert into array, static array, al dot to array, and we are specifying the size using the array list size. New int of result of size. Here result is nothing but, sorry, actually this is al, this is al dot size. Here result is nothing but array list, my array list. So I am going to convert the array list into array. Hope you understood this thing. And the very important thing in this solution is how we are going to sort the array using the comparator interface containing the method compare. And then after, the last thing is how we are going to convert the array list which we used in the solution to the array using the to array method, and specifying the size using the array list which we are used in the solution. Thank you buddies, please share, subscribe and like.